Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the Ultimate Ego Automobiles. Today's topic is on gear selection. This is the gear selection lever. This lever you are seeing here is for gear selection. It's on park right now. It's on park right now. And when it's on park, the car is put at a steady position. It cannot move. It is put at a still steady position. The car cannot move at all. And when this is put on park, the gearbox is made to be still, not to move again. So when you put the car with the ignition being turned on, right now the ignition is on, but it's on park, everything you're selecting here is also reflecting on the dashboard. You see park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3, 2, L. Now the park keeps the car at a steady position, while the reverse enables you to move the car back. The car has been activated to move backward. The car rolls back, and then when the car is brought to neutral is the position that you should always put your gear in when you're in traffic. So when it's on neutral, the car, you can revolve the engine and the car will not move. You can revolve the engine, the car will not move. The car is meant to be steady. It will remain there. Then when the car is on drive, it simply means that the car is ready to move forward. The car is ready to move forward at any speed you want it to move forward. Then if you look at the drive position, you will see drive, you will see 3, you will see 2, you will see L. So if it's on drive position, it's to move to any position you want it to move to. It's to move to any speed you want it to move to, up to 200 kilometers per hour. Like it's been shown here, it can revolve from here to this place. Now, if you want the car to stop revolving at gear 3, you move the car this way. The car now, the brain box will only stop at gear 3. As you can see, formerly it was here, drive, then neutral, but now you put it on drive or you move it to 3. Now it's on 3 now. The car can only speed to gear 3 and stop. It cannot go beyond gear 3. This is done for those that are afraid of driving above some certain speed limit. Now on gear 3, this is where to stop on 70 km per hour. After the 60 km, it cannot go beyond 70 km. So if your place of driving and you see the speed limit is 70 km per hour or 60 or less than 80 km per hour, and you don't want to be at the risk of exceeding it, just use gear 3. Use gear 3 instead of using drive. You'll be safe. So you see the car like this is drive, move it this way, is 3. Now, okay, we are seeing it, this is 2. It's now on 2 now. It's now on 2 now. See on 2? Is there? Now, it's on 2 now. It's now on L, which is more like gear 1. This is more like gear 1. This is the last gear. This is the last gear, and this is the gear 2, and this is the gear 3, and this is the drive, and this is the neutral, and this is the reverse, that's backward movement, and this is the park. And if for instance your car gets to trip off on the highway, the car trips off on the highway, and you would want to, probably due to battery or due to fuel pump issue, like for earlier discussed, and you want to move your car to a safe position, and the car cannot move. See, you can't revolve the engine, nothing is happening, your battery is down, there's a challenge somewhere, and the ignition is not picking. So what you would do is to press this button here. When this button is pressed down, the gear lever is released. When it's pressed down, the gear lever is released. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to hold the phone at an angle that will not be so clear. Now, this is it. Press this down. It's down very well. It's not moving. Yeah, gotten it. You press this down, and it releases the gear lever to any level you want it to any level. So in every car, this button is always there. In every car, it's always there. In every car, this button is always there in every car, and it helps to release this lever when there's no current in the car. Thank you. Okay, I would like to explain to us, in addition to what I've said earlier, the function of these two last gears. If, for instance, you are driving on a sharp sand like a beach, you use this gear. Because when you use drive or three, the more the more you raise the engine, the more the gearbox will be wanting to climb to the higher gear, because the gearbox is programmed that when the RPM is rising, the speed should be rising. So when the gear selector is at drive or three, and you're raising the car, you're in a sharp sand, you're doing that to have freedom to run out of the sand. You're not doing it because you want to stress your engine, but you're doing it to release yourself, to release your car from the hold of the sand and run out of it. So for that reason, you have to raise your car. If the car is on gear 3, the brain boss will be telling the gearbox, increase the gear, move to next gear, move to next gear. From gear 1, move to gear 2, move to gear 3. That's what the brain boss is telling the gearbox to do. But what you should do is to bring the gearbox to bring the gear selector to L. When the gear selector is in L, the car cannot go beyond gear 1, and all the energy that you are releasing from the throttle pedal is going to gear 1, and you see the car running at like a manual gear. There's a purpose why the white people put this gear here. I call them white because they're the people that first originated cars, and even the automatic gear was done by them, not the blacks. So there's a reason why the engineer put this gear 1 and 2 here. It's not just for mere fancy or for racing or for revolving the car, making noise in the streets. It's for the first purpose of this gear 1 selection is so that when the car is in a sharp sand or stocked entirely, you will not be forced to use drive. Many people do mistake of using drive. When you use drive, when your car is stuck in a sharp sand, in a mud, or when your car is being stuck at a place and you're using drive, you are killing the gear fiber. That's what we call fiber, gearbox fiber. That's what we call fiber. The fiber is like a teeth, a selection of teeth, multiple selection of teeth that interchanges to increase the speed that is being sent from the solenoid to the gearbox. And then, but whereby your car is on drive 1, this L here, the fibers that have to do with gear 2, have to do with gear 3 and gear 4 and gear 5. This is a 5 gearbox, a 5-speed gear. So the fiber that should be activated by the amount of current the solenoid received, we call it solenoid or valve body. The amount of current the solenoid received by the high revolving of the car is what it transmits to the valve, to the fiber. The fiber receives the current and changes the gear. Now, if you apply more revolving, the solenoid that controls gear 3 and gear 4 and gear 5 will all be activated. Meanwhile, the car is not moving, it's static. And when the solenoid that activates gear 3, gear 4, gear 4 is charged by the current that you're sending through the throttle pedal, and it gets to the fiber, the fiber cannot move. And if the car is stuck, the fiber will rubbing each other. The fiber will rubbing each other. As the current keep coming, the fiber will keep rubbing each other. The fiber keep rubbing each other, and by so doing, your gearbox wears out and it's gone. So instead of condemning your gearbox due to not having this idea, now you've had the idea, put the gear on gear 1, and the energy that you're sending from the throttle pedal will not affect other gears. It's just send the energy on gear 1, and the car will have enough strength to drag anything out of mud, to drag itself out of a stock position. Now, if for instance you're running on a place that is not too strong, maybe a bumpy area, and a place that's not too good, and you know that no matter how much speed you apply, the car cannot run beyond that, so leave it at gear 2. When the car is at gear 2, this gear 2, it will not send current to the solenoid that will activate gear 3, 4 and 5. Why it should never do that is when those solenoids are activated by the amount of current you apply from the throttle pedal, it sends it to the fiber. And when the fiber receives it, the fiber will start struggling to increase the speed by rubbing each other. The lubrication there, the gear oil there, ought to reduce the friction when the speed is commensurate with the fire. It makes it easy. But whereby the speed is not commensurate with the throttling, sorry, I call it firing. Whereby the speed is not commensurate with the throttling, the fiber will be rubbing each other because they want to increase. They want to increase the speed to the next level. They cannot achieve that because it's stuck, and there's nothing they can do because there's no enough grip for the tire to grant them that permission to do that. So this is the importance of these two last gears. Then, like I said before, this gear 3 is still for controlled speed. Not for if you are meant to drive 60 km per hour and you don't want to exceed it, just leave like gear 3. When it gets there, it will cut off. It will not go beyond that. Yes. When it gets in gear 1, when the current gets to gear 1 solenoid, it will not go beyond that. It will cut off the other solenoid and gearbox will be saved. When it's on gear 2, when it gets to gear 2, it cut off the other solenoid that sends energy to the valves and they are secured. When it gets to gear 3, it cut off energy that goes beyond this. The way it's on drive, energy can travel from here, from the lowest gear to the highest gear in a split second, and your car will be on top speed. Yeah. With this, I've come to the end of this topic. I just hope that you apply this I've taught you and avoid contaminating your gearbox at an earlier stage. Thank you, and always subscribe if you have not done so. Comment your own challenge and then write to us if you want to buy a car so we can cancel any kind of car to buy to avoid buying a car that will give you trouble. And cancel any kind of car that has resale value so that by the end of the day, when you want to upgrade your class of car, you can easily sell and be in good terms with the economy of the time you're selling. Thank you, and keep coming.